Now, lots of CEOs and then lots of, I want to call them CEOs, whatever, executives, people in positions of sort. They talk endlessly about resilience. There's a fine, balance between resilience and being vulnerable. Like you have to be vulnerable at some point and share with the world, some news that probably the world doesn't want to hear or uncomfortable. How about that? And very few test the idea that when a CEO becomes um, the constraint, if you will, of that process, that's what basically drive the rumor mill and bunch of things. So I think that resilience thing, it contradicts the idea of I want to share, because I've been promoting that. As a CEO, I mean, I've heard the word resilience all my life
Hmm.
in the
Right.
corporate world. Unfortunately and fortunately, I'm not in the corporate world anymore. I left it 4 months ago, but it was embedded into everything I hear. Resilience, resilience,
Right.
resilience.
Right.
I go to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning. I see my CEO there.
Hmm.
And I feel like,
Wow.
I
Hmm.
got to do more push-ups than he does.
Hmm.
I got to lift more weight than he
Hmm.
does.
Hmm.
It's a competitive
Hmm.
thing.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, when faced with these types of biological realities, that we're all biological beings and we go through things, um, resilience seems to step aside for a bit. How do you
Right.
adjust for that resilience
Yeah.
versus what's going on?
Well, and I think, from a business perspective, we want our businesses to be resilient. COVID was, probably the biggest thing that taught us that was how is our business going to survive? But it is a challenge. I was looking through the news just yesterday, and all politics aside, nothing, the story was that President Trump, so he's off at something, had a new bruise on his hand.
Okay.
My thought was,
Who did he punch? I have no idea.
I was like, so,
Yeah, what's the big
and
deal?
and I think there's so many times where we are looking for a negative. Is there something wrong? As
That's
opposed
our
to how
nature,
can we
though,
help it?
Deb, as a human being.
Right.
Like, I mean, look
Yeah.
at what's going on around us.
Hmm.
We
Hmm.
report on the plane when it
Hmm.
crashed. We never report on the
Right.
plane landed safely.
I know, and or the pilot who that was his 1 millionth mile that he flew or whatever, right? Yeah, we don't, so my background is I'm an old PR person, so public relations, right?
Yes.
And for years we were told if it bleeds, it leads. People want that. And look, you drive down the road, train wreck, bus crash, you look, right? Oh, are we going to see something? And I no, I don't want to see that. Ew, right? But yeah, and I think that's one of the things that we are hopefully getting through is thinking about the positives. How can we help people? How can we be grateful as opposed to how can we be looking for things that are wrong?
Now, when you went through this, 3, 4 different, I want to say massive, for somebody else who would have been, broke them, you must have like the character of a steel or a platinum. I don't know what you got in there, but how did you manage all this? And how did you figure out, like, did it ever stop you of thinking that I'm no longer deserving of a CEO or a position of sort?
There were times where I thought I can't do this. I just can't do this. And you always have the why me's. What did
Yeah.
I do? What did I do to deserve this?
Hmm.
And you have those things, and but it really was one of those things where I kept thinking, well, I can't let this get to me. I've got to go on. I didn't know what was coming next, but I thought, nope, this is not the end. And the really funny thing, and I have no idea where this came from, in my head, I have an image of myself at 97. Like I have no idea where this came from. And so, I have to get there. But you definitely learn a lot about yourself. And so many people tell me, oh, you're always so happy, you're always so upbeat. Well, I just don't show people when I'm not. My poor husband gets to deal with that, right? I had a little minor surgery a week ago to get over that, and then I caught a cold, so I've just been whiny for like 2 weeks. And but it was so funny. because I had a checkup today. This is one of those weeks. I had 5 medical appointments this week, um, and had a checkup with my endocrinologist, who's the thyroid doctor. And he said, "It's always so nice to see you because you're always so upbeat." My doctors know that if I come in and I'm not happy, 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 there's something wrong.